In this tutorial, I will show you how you as an admin can set up layout protection to ensure that elements on slides are only ever within the placeholders or a given working area and do not reach beyond them. This gives your presentations a consistent design. The Empower feature shown here should also be integrated into future versions of Empower and in some cases already in older Empower versions. Layout protection is enabled and set up in the master. To do this, first save the master in the library or save it again and overwrite it if it was already stored in the library. To do this, navigate to the library split button in the Empower ribbon in the Start group, then select Save and then Master and Save As. The new window will open. I now save the master in my user library with the file name Empower Layout Protection. Clicking on the Save button opens the window with the master information in which you can define the settings for the master. Here, you need to enable layout protection. Then, click on the Apply button and assign the appropriate design to the master. Elements that are placed on the slide by the user outside of the defined and permitted working area are detected by the design check as errors and must be corrected. I've placed some elements here, like the location icon, the clock icon, and the chart inside the placeholder of this slide layout. Now, when I run the design check, you can see that these elements do not have a design violation. The other icons outside the slide's content and title placeholder are clearly recognized as a violation of layout protection. If the design check detects this violation, an error message is displayed to the user. If you click on the Information button, you will also be shown an illustration and explanation of layout protection. Here you can see that the layout protection works very precisely. As soon as an element reaches even a little beyond the defined placeholder and lies above the edge of the placeholder, layout protection detects the violation. Once layout protection is enabled, all placeholders on the master's layouts are defined as the layout protection area by default. In every master, however, there are also layouts on which there are no or only a few placeholders. On the title only or blank layout, for example, elements should be able to be freely arranged. However, if layout protection is enabled, the design check would indicate a violation of the layout protection area for every element placed on the slide. In order not to restrict the individual design options, user-defined layout protection areas can be defined in addition to the placeholders. To do this, navigate to the View group and select Slide Master in the Master Views group to open the Slide Master view of the master. Here, I navigate to the title-only layout. Here I would like to define the working area in which the users can insert elements freely, so that the design check does not recognize them as a violation of the layout protection. To do this, I now navigate to the Empower ribbon and there in the group Insert to the split button Elements, and then I select Shapes. Now I'm going to select the rectangle and draw it on the slide in the size of the working area I want to define. Now I select the shape and right-click on it. I can now choose Enable Layout Protection in the context menu. The area of that shape is then defined as a working area and can be used to insert elements. The design check will not show any violations for elements in this area. In the same way, layout protection can also be extended to other areas on layouts with placeholders. You should rename the elements used to set the layout protection area to Layout Protection before saving the master so that you can easily and quickly recognize it. To do this, use the keyboard shortcut Alt and F10. This will list all the elements on the slide on the right side of the screen. Here you select the element of your defined layout protection area with a left click and you can then rename it to Layout Protection. To prevent the element that marks the layout protection area from appearing on the slides later, you can hide it by right-clicking on the element and click Hide Design Check Shapes. If you want to edit the element again later, simply right-click on the layout and select Show Design Check Shapes. Alternatively, you can also select the eye icon. in the overview of elements at the edge of the screen. To save the changes, the master must finally be saved back in the library. If you now insert a new slide with the layout for which you have set up layout protection and insert some elements inside and outside of your defined working area, you will immediately see that your layout protection area has been successfully defined and only the elements outside the area will be marked as violations. Feel free to test the function yourself and save valuable time. If you have any further questions, please feel free to contact us.